The Bengals got the short end of the stick once again with their schedule release, and in this video, I'll explain why it's the fans that are hurting the most. Hi again, Bengals fans. John Sheeran of A to Z Sports Cincinnati here, and it feels like everyone had a very similar reaction for when the Bengals 2025 schedule was released, and it wasn't a particularly good one. Now, we've known the opponents of the Bengals 2025 season going all the way back to January. Those get locked in basically as soon as the previous regular season ended. The whole point of the schedule release is determining when these games actually happen and at what time they happen. And a complaint that Bengals fans and frankly the team itself has had over the past couple of years ever since the Bengals rose to relevancy again is their lack of home primetime games, specifically against their own divisional opponents. Because for once, the Bengals and their fans are looking forward to watching this team play under the bright lights. They perform really well in these environments, unlike the previous years under Marvin Lewis. But for a reason that myself and no one else really knows, the people who make the NFL schedule really like to schedule the Bengals in primetime away from their stadium and fans. And that's the case once again for 2025, as the Bengals have 4 primetime games on their schedule this season, with 3 happening on the road. Now, granted, the one primetime game they have at home is against the divisional opponent and the Pittsburgh Steelers. That game will be on Thursday Night Football in Week 7, but they play on Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos at Denver Week 4. They play on Sunday Night Football at the Miami Dolphins in Week 16, and then they play at the Baltimore Ravens in Week 13 on Thanksgiving night. And that last one, it's honestly kind of funny because this is going to be the 3rd consecutive year where the Bengals play at the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. And that simply cannot be a coincidence. And of course it's not, right? Bengals-Ravens is typically a really close, hard-fought game between two rival teams, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson battling out. That's always must-see TV. But why the Bengals are just not allowed to face one of their fiercest rivals on the road on a regular rest schedule is simply beyond me. Now, playing on Thanksgiving, that's going to be really cool. The Bengals haven't done that in 15 years. Why does it have to be this game? Why can't the Bengals and Ravens play in Baltimore on just a regular Sunday afternoon? The last time they did that, the Bengals won, of course, in 2021. Why do they have to continue playing this team in the same setting on the same night of the week as when Joe Burrow messed up his thumb 2 years ago? I don't like it one bit, and I don't blame Bengals fans for feeling the same way. But I do think there's a way that the NFL can salvage this. As it happens, 3 of the Bengals' final 4 games are being played at home. And if they are to be a really good team this year and are going to be in the playoff race at that time of the year, I do think there's a good chance that at least one of those games gets flexed to primetime. Because if this team is to turn things around and make the playoffs for the first time since 2022, it would be really cool for fans to experience more than just one home primetime game. And if we are being technical, there are a couple of more games in which the Bengals will have a national audience. Like they play the Lions at 4:25 Eastern. They play the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo at 4:25 Eastern. So there's technically more than just 4 primetime games on the schedule. But for Striping the Jungle, for the White Bengal uniform, for the Ring of Honor celebration, you want to have those things at night. And right now, the Bengals only have one night game at home. I think at this point, the Bengals are just going to have to make the playoffs again and do some damage in the playoffs, maybe even win the whole freaking Super Bowl in order to gain any respect from the schedule makers. Because for a team that rates really well in these primetime settings, you would love for the city of Cincinnati to experience more than just a Thursday night in October. So we'll see if they're good enough in December to get at least one of those final 3 games flexed. But until then, the Bengals got screwed, and that's just what it is.